Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear students of Masters final year, how you folks are doing? In our today's class, I will discuss Walt Whitman's Song of Myself, section 5, and before starting my discussion, I will recite the poem and later I will tell you the interpretation and critical appreciation, and I will also discuss an explanation. And let me begin with the recitation of this wonderful poem. I believe in you, my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. Loaf with me on the grass, lose the stop from your throat, not words, not music or rhyme. I want not custom or lecture, not even the best, only the lull I like, the hum of your valved voice. I mind how once we lay such a transparent summer morning, how you settled your head athwart my hips and gently turned over upon me, and parted the shirt from my bosom bone, and plunged your tongue to my bare stripped heart, and wrist till you felt my beard, and wrist till you held my feet, swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and knowledge that pass all the argument of the earth. And I know that the hand of God is the promise of my own, and I know that the Spirit of God is the brother of my own, and that all the men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and a kelson, and that a kelson of the creation of love, and limitless are leaves stiff or drooping in the fields, and brown ants in the little wells beneath them, and mossy scapes of the wormfins, heaped stones, elder, mullein and pokeweed. And my dear students, now I will tell you the interpretation and critical appreciation of the poem. Whitman introduces the theme of love, which unites body and soul and all creation. To quote Jeffrey Dutton, this section is one of the greatest mystical vision in all poetry, and yet one hesitates to use the mystical words about a vision that is also so precise and compassionate, and so perfectly after the earlier starting and exaltation introduces the theme of humanity. The poet insists that the body and the soul are indissoluble. One is not above the other, both are equally important. He does not debase one or praise the other. He invites his soul to wander with him, to roam and meet the ultimate God. He says that he will not be tempted by any other sound or melody. He likes to be in perfect harmony with his soul, without any diversion of thought. He recollects a bygone scene when, on a clear summer morning, he lay on the grass with his beloved soul. The poet gives an erotic picture of a couple in love. To quote James E. Miller, the vital relationship of the body of the mystical experience and the identification of the mystic deliria and analogous or synonymous with it are both strongly suggested in the key section, that is section number 5 of the Song of Myself, in which the poet appears to be going into the mystical trance or mesmerization. The sexual imagery is unmistakable. In another context, the passage might well appear to be a physical drama of ecstatic sexual experience, but in its own context, It is a mystical interfusion of body and soul. This section depicting passionate love introduces the two participants, the body and the soul. When the body has been elevated to a state of bliss by the soul, the poet achieves transcendent illumination. Swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and knowledge that pass all the argument of the earth, and that a kelson of the creation is love. A mystical experience of mystics transcends all arguments of the earth. The knowledge is not the result of the logic of the mind, but it is the result of the spontaneity of the soul. William James defined mysticism as a state of consciousness characterized by two qualities or traits. Number one, noetic or purely intellectual insight and revelation, and number two, ineffable, that is inexpressible in ordinary human language, known only through the experience itself. These qualities abound in Song of Myself in particular and in Lips of Grass in general. Whitman shows unity in diversity in his poems. He shows the unity and harmony pervading the universe. Finally, he shows the merging of the soul with the universal being, which only results from self-realization. There is always a development or amelioration describing the physical union, which is elevated to the spiritual union, which in other words is the arena of mysticism. The spiritual union breathes in peace and inexplicable bliss which is above earthly knowledge. The awareness dawns that the body and the soul are creations of God. Both are sacred and pure and equally important and significant. He considers all men and women as equal, as the Creator God is the same to one and all. The very breath of the universe and existence is love. Bereft of it, everything is barren. All creations of God, animals or human beings or trees, great or small, are equally sacred. This puts forth Whitman's conception of democracy, and in his democracy he makes no distinction between caste, creed, color, sex or religion. And now, my dear students, I will tell you the explanation of these few lines. I believe in you, my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. These few lines reveal Whitman's conception of democracy. All are equal, irrespective of caste, color, sex, religion in a democracy. All parts of the body are equally significant and important. All factors, all creations of God in this universe, pretty or great, animate or inanimate, are equally sacred and holy. Similarly, the poet shows that the body and the soul are equally important and sacred. He does not praise one and debase or debase or mean the other. A perfect harmony of the two is essential in knowing the self, and thence starts the mystical journey to mingle with the divine. And this is a wonderful poem, and the poem glorifies love and also glorifies democracy and glorifies God. And I believe that, my dear students, you will enjoy the poem, and the words are very lucid, and even the language is very, very simple and easy to understand. And with you, with the wish of you keeping well and good in the days to come, I want to wrap up my discussion for today, and thank you, my dear students.